we must talk about...
She's so lovely.
Oh, stop!
This is my last year. I'm done. I'm not coming back. I'm not kidding. This is it done. I'm going to miss her.
I'm going to miss you too.
Wearing me on her chest.
Oh. Thanks. We're all going to miss you massively.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
Honestly, massively. Just as you will find virtue in Extremis, you will find spoilers in this chat. So go and watch episode 6, then come back here. This is the fan show. Later, we'll be catching up with Michelle Gomez about her triumphant return as Missy and whether the Doctor's arch nemesis has turned good. But first, eagle-eyed viewers may recall that last week we said Stephen Moffat would be joining the show. Well, he's adding the finishing touches to this year's Christmas special, so hasn't been allowed out to play today. But no matter, we've called up a splendid chap who knows every twist and turn of Series 10, a man who has described working on Doctor Who as relentlessly bonkers. It's script editor Nick Lambon.
Hello.
Well, thank you so much, Nick, for joining us, and welcome to our fabulous bunker. This is
Thanks
where
very much.
we store all of our alien artefacts, brooms, cleaning products. There's someone making tea next door. So welcome. So firstly, you're the script editor for Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who don't know, what exactly is a script editor?
Well, basically the script editor sits with the production but works with all the writers. So I work with the writers to develop their stories, work out which writers are coming back, which new ones we're going to be working with, what stories we're going to develop and turn into episodes. Then I'm talking to the production about what those stories are going to be, how we're going to make those stories, and I'm feeding that back to the writers. So I'm kind of sitting between all the writers and everyone else in the art department and the producer and the director. It's the most exciting job because you are one of the few people in the room at the very beginning saying, right, where are we going to send the Doctor, what are we going to do? And not even the Doctor really knows where he's going, right?
Yeah,
You're there kind of going, okay, this is going to be episode 1, this is going to be episode 10, how are we going to get from there to there? Yeah, it's really great.
Cool. And roughly how long is a Doctor Who script?
Oh, that depends. It's meant to be like, you know, a page equals a minute, but most Doctor Who scripts are much longer than that. They're normally about 60 pages.
I guess part of your job as well is to get the pages down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which means deleting stuff?
Yeah, quite a lot of stuff ends up disappearing.
That must be quite hard though, because, you know, how do you decide what to lose?
I guess that happens quite late. Some of it's dictated by like necessity, like there isn't enough money. Sometimes it happens naturally because the stories change quite a lot. Like when they start out, they're very different ideas usually to what kind of ends up on screen, and something you thought was really important in draft 1, which is what got you working on that script in the first place, which you think is going to be the scene that everyone's going to be putting on YouTube and watching again and again and again. Actually, you get to the read through and you go, you know what, I want to see more of that idea. Like that's the really interesting bit of this episode, and none of us knew that when we started, but that's the best bit.
Myself included, I think a lot of fans believe that you have the series done, written, and everything before you start shooting, and that's not the case, is it?
Sort of. I mean, some things we know very early on. Like, obviously, we knew we had a new companion this year. We sort of knew what kind of journey we wanted Bill to go on and how quickly we wanted her to get to know the Doctor and all the different aspects of what the TARDIS can do and where the Doctor goes. But other things like big arc stuff that kind of links episodes together, like gets decided surprisingly late, because what we're mostly trying to do is focus on the story of the week and make that the best possible story of the week and get the best characters and the best ideas into that we can. And then later on we kind of go, actually, you know what, maybe those 2 episodes go together. Maybe that shouldn't be episode 5, that should be episode 2. You know, it depends, you know, how the stories are kind of shaping up.
Let's talk about Extremis.
Yeah.
So Stephen described this episode in Doctor Who magazine as his last chance to see how far you can bend this show before it breaks. So do you think Stephen achieved that?
Yeah, I mean, he loves to make it difficult for himself. That's what he really wants to do. It's like Heaven Sent last year. He was just determined to strip away everything that makes writing this show easy, and it's not an easy show to write in the first place. And I think with this episode, you know, first and foremost, the Doctor can't see. Like, how do you write an entire episode where the Doctor can't see? And how do you keep him at the front and centre of the story and driving the story like the Doctor always does?
And speaking of the Doctor's blindness as well, Jamie Matheson said last week that he made the Doctor blind as a result of not having his helmet on. And Stephen went, "Oh, that's brilliant. I'll have that." So is that how this episode
Yeah, so
happened?
that's another example of where we kind of are making stuff up as we go along.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I guess this whole arc that we're kind of in the middle of is something that came out of lots of different episodes we were developing, and what Stephen really, really wanted was in the middle of the series to have a big, punchy kind of two-part story. We've had kind of 5 or 6 episodes now where it's been kind of like fun adventures, which we all love, but it'd be great if you don't want to get stuck in that for 12 episodes. You want to keep people guessing, and you want to keep turning characters in the light and seeing different sides of them. And I guess it started out with Jamie, as he said, the Doctor was blind, and then at the end of the episode he got his sight back. We literally shone something in his eyes and he could see again, and it just felt a bit easy, a bit kind of magical, like, and we all weren't sure if that was really going to work. And then Stephen said, well, then he doesn't get his sight back, and it just carries on. And you know, again, you go, well, that means in your episode he can't see. And Stephen was like, yeah, that'll be fine. I'll sort that out. The series for me kind of breaks down into kind of 3 distinct parts. We've got the first 4 episodes. We're really getting to know Bill, and Bill's really forging a relationship with the Doctor. Now we're in the middle of a kind of, you know, the Doctor can't see now, and he's more vulnerable. And I think it's a natural development of any deep friendship that you have. To start with, you meet someone you really like and they're amazing and you're seeing all the best bits about them. And now Bill's getting to see kind of, the Doctor can be quite a dark character and a melancholic character, you know, and Bill's kind of learning how he deals with that and seeing those different elements to his character, which I think are an important part of him, and it wouldn't be true for her not to see that and to explore that. And then there's a kind of third phase of the series, which you'll see.
There is a theory that we are living in a computer simulation.
It could be happening now.
Could be happening now. I mean, what do you think?
Do I think we're in a computer simulation?
Philosophical, yeah.
It's scary because, you know, how do we know?
No, I know. And all of those poor people in the simulation, they thought they were real. And
so do we.
They find out, well, we all think we're real. So what if one day, you know, there's a book, you know, and it's, you know, it says, yeah, sorry guys, you know.
You see, I'm not like the Doctor though. I wouldn't read it. I just want to be ignorant, you know.
Yeah, it's
like, let's just
ignorance.
carry on.
Yeah. I hope we never find out. We've got a new baddie. We've got the monks.
They're pretty creepy, aren't they?
Very creepy.
I guess we don't know very much about them at the moment, which is also deliberate. We know they're powerful and they're scary and they're on their way. Again, they're a kind of a monster we were playing with across, you know, different episodes, and they fit quite nicely across this episode and a few others. So they're a bit of a formidable foe for the Doctor, I'd say. Going
back to the arc, Missy features in this episode as a sort of subplot. There's 2 very different stories going on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a really interesting way of structuring an episode. I don't think we've ever had anything quite like this before. So how did that come about?
I mean, it comes from Stephen, really. I mean, I think we all kind of knew, especially Stephen, that you'd have gone mad if we'd spent the entire series at the end of every episode going back and going, what's behind the door?
We're going to find out sooner or later.
And actually, as the series goes on, you kind of realise that it's not just who's in the vault, it's what's going on, you know, what are the circumstances of that, what's happening to Missy while she's in there. And I think that, so Stephen always wanted to kind of reveal fairly early on what was behind the door. And it just kind of puts flesh on the bones of, you know, a thing happened and now he's taken an oath and he's guarding this door. And, you know, as the series develops, you'll see, you know, why it's so important that he's keeping her in there, basically.
Well, thank you so much, Nick. And I think whilst we're on the subject of Missy, let's see what Michelle Gomez had to say. Back once again, it's the Renegade Mistress. I'm joined here by the wonderful Michelle Gomez, who is returning to Doctor Who Series 10 to cause more mischief and mayhem.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to be back?
Oh, it's all right. You know, it's okay. Yes, it's great. It's great to be back, and I'm very happy to be back. I wouldn't want to be the master to anybody else because I've really, really enjoyed, you know, disturbing Peter / the Doctor. And I just don't know who I'm going to get to annoy like that again, as quite as much, apart from my husband, obviously, and my close family and friends.
In this episode, we see a real development of the Doctor and Missy's relationship, to the point where she promises to be good. I mean, has it been fun to play that alternate side to her?
It has, because if anybody's into math or arithmetic, we all know there's an S in maths. Okay, I can hear you now. But a positive cannot exist without a negative. And if you're just playing one thing all of the time, it's just, it gets a bit dull and a bit tiresome. So it has been wonderful to be able to explore what Missy's reactions might be if she were ever to have a conscience. But you must always remember the old story of the frog on the scorpion. It's a great story. It's a super story. It's about a frog on a scorpion. And do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. All right, I'll shoot from the hip. So the frog comes along to the lake and has to cross the lake. Can't get across the lake because he's missed the ferry. But there's a scorpion there, and the scorpion says, "I'll take you across." And the frog's like, "No way, man, no way, you're scorpion, right?" And Missy's the scorpion in this story, okay, just to be clear.
Yeah.
And the scorpion says, it's cool, just jump on, I'll take you across. And of course, halfway across, the scorpion attacks the frog. And the frog goes, "What? Why'd you do that?" And the scorpion says, "'Cause I'm a scorpion." So I think it's clear what my message is there.
Yeah. Missy is definitely the scorpion.
That's right.
Yeah.
And never trust scorpions, especially if you're a frog.
So do you think the Doctor and Missy can truly be friends again?
I think the Doctor and Missy have always been friends. I think that is what, that's basically what we've been exploring all this time. And it's about a friendship that's gone wrong. But I still maintain that there is some affection in there. Like any friendship that goes wrong, there's a part of you that thinks, I could save it, or I could get it back, or why did it go wrong? And then you meet the person and you remember, nope, it's broken, and you really shouldn't go there. And I think that's what the Doctor has to remember with Missy.
Yeah.
Missy seems like a good idea, but she's not.
And the trouble is, the Doctor will always give Missy or the Master the sort of benefit of the doubt, really, because...
Well, that's what goodness is, you see.
That's what, and that kind of is his problem, because he keeps saying to the Master or Missy...
Hope is his problem.
Yeah, you can be good, you can change, and this is how he gets into trouble.
Well, we'll find out again.
Yeah.
Maybe Missy does turn good. Maybe, we don't know. I don't know, because I don't read the script. Just turn up with my cosy on. Go, what? Where? Here? Right.
So at the end of this episode, we learn that it's Missy in the vault that the Doctor's been protecting on Earth for some time. So does that mean we'll be seeing you again soon?
Well, probably, yeah. Why not? Yes.
Well, speaking of which, in the past, Missy has brought back the Cybermen. Given that the Mendacin Cybermen are in the finale, does she have something to do with the Mendacin Cybermen coming back?
Oh, I can't tell you that. Other than, I think they're great. I think they're really super. Not quite as streamlined as my army that I had in St. Paul's, but yeah, wherever there's a Cyberman, Missy's not far behind. She might be one.
What? Amazing. Now that is a spoiler and a half. Thank you so much, Michelle, for talking to us, and thank you so much for playing Missy.
Oh gosh, well, it was an amazing opportunity. I'm very happy to have had the chance. Thank you.
Thank you. So Nick, before you head off and celebrate Christmas, we'd love you to take part in Top of the Locks, where we measure the ups and downs of hair in Who.
I shouldn't be judging other people's hair. That is a bad idea. Okay, let's do this. Sadly, Nardole's, he's always going to be at the bottom, isn't he? I mean, what can he do? Maybe he'll find a wig later. Where are we, 6? I think he's around there somewhere. I think it's slightly lower than last week, let's be honest. And I think next, I think it's Pearl.
Yeah.
I think, that's Peter. This is Pearl. I think it's there. And then it's difficult because it does look magnificent in this episode, but I want to put Peter there. And I think he's just pipped to the post by the return of the fabulous Missy.
Oh, so that's Missy's first time on the board, and well, I presume
maybe not her
she'll
last.
feature later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I imagine she will. I don't know if she'll make it to the top, but I imagine she will.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Nick.
You're welcome.
Now over to Luke in the internet.
Thanks, Christel. I see you've been downgraded to a grey room this week. Welcome to my world. Top tip, get yourself a sign. Right, well, let's get straight into it. Last week's cinematic epic Oxygen got you designing some amazing film posters. Valentina tweaked these gorgeous posters from the Chasm Forged as they seemed more like something the 12th Doctor would say. Air costs, save your breath, you pudding brains. Comic book artist Rachel Stott provided us with this striking image of the blind 12th Doctor. An artistic time lady says she used her own tears to create this piece. Please don't use your own tears at home. Same for the series finale. After Jamie Matheson's comments last week on the Aftershow about the 12th Doctor's luscious grey, luscious chalky blonde locks, Docker knocked up this amazing, rebellious colour hair product that will definitely not be available in stores, and I definitely won't be buying. Now, can someone please make the 12th Doctor's floof mousse? Thanks. We also saw loads of great behind-the-scenes pictures from stars of the show too. The space zombie Timmy Reed shared these fabulous photos of him getting glammed up with some beautiful, subtle eye makeup there. Really makes the eyes pop and gross. Also, Pearl Mackie and Mr. Blue Peter Caulfield shared some larking around from behind the scenes. Get back to work. Miyuki Mouse proved that some of Nardol's friends are in fact bluish, whilst Matt Lucas tweeted that he completely improvised that line. What a pro. And finally, it turns out the Doctor hasn't forgotten Clara at all. Here's a picture of them holidaying together at a convention in Ottawa. We can only presume that Ashilda has parked the diner outside and is making a killing on burgers, milkshakes, pancakes, whatever else you get in a diner TARDIS. Have you ever wanted to fly the TARDIS? Of course you have. Well, now you can using the TARDIS Time Vortex 360 game. You can actually fly the TARDIS, and I am very good at it. No, I'm not. No. So grab your smartphone, get to the link in the description, and get flying. Right, that's it for this week. As ever, if you've made anything pretty, please send it to us at dwthefanshow@bbc.com or tweet us at dwthefanshow. And well, seeing as this week has all been one big simulation by the monks, Christel, I can finally tell you how I feel about you. I think that you are the most beautiful.
We'll be back next week with Stephen Moffat. Well, these aren't last week's cue cards. Steve-O will be joining us to chat about episode 7 and writing his last ever script for Doctor Who. In the meantime, click here to see a trailer for The Pyramid at the End of the World and click here to subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.